From 15 years old to much older, 60% drink at a certain stage in their life. Is this a good thing or not? I don't know. So the South African government is tired of South Africans drinking because alcohol is creating much more problems. Fellas, the South African government want to make alcohol more expensive so they can stop South Africans from drinking. Crazy stuff. In Kenya, they just voted one of the craziest law, a law of unaliving people. This is crazy. We need to watch this. What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. Thank you very much for stopping by. You are very much appreciated. Hey, this is home, man. You want to know about Africa? You are at the right place. You want to know what's happening in Namibia, Uganda, Kenya, South Africa, Rwanda. This is where you need to be. So come together, let's subscribe, recommend this page to some of your cousins and your side chicks. So this can be much bigger. Okay, not the side chick though. Anyway, you can do that. My name is Zack. I don't know who you are, but if you watch this video till the end, we're certainly going to like each other. Don't I look like your cousin? I'm sure I do look like them. Anyway, great. So in South Africa is here. Here's a map. I know a lot of people don't know where South Africa is. This is South Africa. Beautiful place, lovely people, very entertaining country. If you have money, you gotta have the money. Well, the question is, where is it entertaining if you have no money? I guess you need money everywhere in the world, okay? So the South African government is coming up with an idea of making alcohol more expensive so they can curb the issues and the problems that alcohol brings. It's interesting. Is this a good idea or not? They say alcohol is very harmful. We all know that worldwide, about 3 million people are unalive by things related to alcohol every year. Very interesting. But in South Africa specifically, alcohol consumption is linked to over 200 different diseases. So they're trying to find a solution to that. The government thinks, well, because many people in South Africa get treated from government hospitals, it's a lot of burden because government hospitals are run financially by the government. So when you drink and you have a car accident, the government has to look after you because your family doesn't have money to send you to a private hospital. Government has to spend money. Now, if you drink and you fight somebody and you hit him in the eye and the eye comes out of the socket, no, I'm just kidding. Government still, that's crazy, still has to look after that person. Now, if you go drink and you go find your girlfriend and you unalive his boyfriend because your girlfriend was a cheater, because you were unable to look after that girl, now you're saying they're stealing your girlfriend. The government still have to pay for the burial of that person and also pay for you to eat in jail. And it costs too much money. Meantime, the girlfriend goes in the street and finds another boyfriend. That's crazy, yeah? Why would you unalive somebody for a girlfriend? You go to jail, the guy goes to heaven, or hell anyway, and the girlfriend goes to the street, find another boyfriend, and get pregnant. Then goes to the government hospital, and the government hospital has to pay for the birth. And you don't, that's crazy. So anyway, so that's what it is. So South Africa has now come up with an idea to stop that. South African National Treasury has proposed raising taxes to curb excessive drinking in the country. That's crazy. Excessive drinking? So South Africans drink a lot of alcohol? This is insane. Is this the reason why we see some of these guys? Look at this guy dancing.
Open to me.
Look at this guy. We call them hippopotamus. Big stomach, flat ass, small legs, dancing. And these guys usually target only young girls, like 20s. He's probably 49 years old. They're just like young girls, the fresh ones. If you raise alcohol, maybe these guys will be much less seen in the street. Anyway, let's get back on track. So according to a report from the WHO in 2018, you can double check that, 60% of South African drinkers aged 15 and older engage in heavy episodic drinking. From 15 years old to much older, 60% drink at a certain stage in their life. Is this a good thing or not? I don't know. So the South African government is tired of South Africans drinking because alcohol is creating much more problems. Now, is this tax going to work? Question mark. Well, it has shown, evidence show that they've done it in Canada before. They've done it in Ireland. They've done it in numerous other countries. It seemed to have worked because once they tax the beer, they tax even the unit, it makes it more difficult. People say, okay, you know what, I'm not going to drink because I don't want to waste my money. And it dropped the level of alcoholism in Ireland. That is one of the studies the South African Treasury is using to implement alcohol price rising in 2025. Evidence showing countries such as Canada, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, and England demonstrate that excise tax is a cost-effective strategy in reducing alcohol-related harm. So, they're coming for you, my brothers from South Africa. Public Health Scotland found that the minimum unit pricing was adopted. Alcohol-related death fell by about 13.4% and hospital admission dropped by 4.1%. Now, that's crazy. Okay, let me just remind you, in South Africa last year, 1,400 people were unalived for things related to drinking during festive season only. I'm not talking about throughout the year. So the government is not trying to take that away. Now, this is very interesting, but reminds me of Uganda. In Uganda, alcohol is very cheap. So that allows a lot of people to go and have a drink and stuff like that.
We don't party in Uganda, you're not a Ugandan. We are home, we are partying, we are back to work, we are working. It's end of month, get your money, get your salary, put the money into circulation. That's it, that's Uganda. We live like it's just living.
But Ugandans are not necessarily violent like that. They don't, I'm sorry, I just need to put it out there. South Africa is one of the most violent countries in the world. Cape Town, Johannesburg, especially. You can double check that. I'm not saying it. You can check that. It's on the list of the most violent country in the world, next to Afghanistan and Mexico and stuff like that. Now, Uganda is not that violent, so they have a lot of alcohol. But many people criticize Ugandan president, saying he made alcohol much cheaper so he can get people happy. The more drunk you are, ladies are accessible, and you've eaten, the food is cheap in Uganda. So people don't worry about politics. They just drink, do poof, poof, bam, bam with females and eat and sleep. Interesting, isn't it? Well, that doesn't seem to work in South Africa because it creates mayhem on the road. People unalived, people hurting each other, and that is not good. So the government has had enough of that. And now we are going to Kenya. Okay, fellas, let me just ask you a question here. Have you ever had a situation where a relative or a friend or somebody you don't know trying to unalive themselves because they have issues and problems and stuff like that? How do you react to that? How do you feel about that? Do you feel like you need to blame them? Like, why would you want to unalive yourself for a female? I mean, that's stupid. Why would you unalive yourself for a female? That's crazy. Okay, why would you want to unalive yourself because things are bad? Anyway, you have no money and stuff like that. Or do you feel like you need to give them support? Okay? Well, Kenya has done something very interesting, fellas. There is a judge in Kenya that ruled that criminalizing attempted self-unaliving, I'm not going to say the word because we're going to be censored, self-unaliving, you know what it means. So they're saying criminalizing attempted to self-unaliving is unconstitutional. The judgment has been welcomed as an important shift in the perception by human rights and mental health. Oops, congratulations. Thank you very much. Okay, for the slow ones who don't understand, I know you here. A lot of you. Anyway, okay, let me explain. So in Kenya, when you unalive yourself, or you try to unalive yourself and you're not unalived, you can go to jail for 4 years. Sometimes 2 years, sometimes 4 years. And it doesn't matter whether you are 80 years old, you will be thrown in jail for trying to unalive yourself. Now, that's law, that's rule in Kenya. You try to unalive yourself, they're going to throw you in jail for that. Now, this judge, after many pressure, many actions, have ruled that it is unconstitutional to throw somebody in jail because he tried to unalive themselves. And I know many people have different beliefs. Some religious believe if you unalive yourself, they will beat you up, they beat your body up. You know that your unalived body will get beat up before they bury you. Some cultures do that too in Africa. If you unalive yourself, they will beat your body. I don't want to say that other word. They will beat your body before they put it on the ground. Now, Kenya has a rule, if you try to unalive yourself, they throw you in jail for 2 or 4 years. Now, this judge said that rule is unconstitutional. Article 43 of Kenya says that a person has the right to the highest attainable standard of health. That contradicts the Constitution by punishing those people with mental health issues over the fact that they may have no control. So why do people unalive themselves? People unalive themselves, or try to unalive themselves, because they have issues. They have problems. They have no employment. They've just made somebody pregnant, or the uncle's wife's pregnant. Why would you do that? Anyway, stuff like that. People unalive themselves because they're addicted to something. They try to unalive themselves because of that. Now, should you punish them further because they're going through things sometimes they have no control over? I mean, yeah, some things you can control. You don't need to go and remove the clothes of your uncle's wife so you can say you're stressed, then you unalive. I mean, that's crazy. But there are things you can avoid, like alcohol, like, many things you can avoid. So this judge said it's unconstitutional. This has to drop. We cannot accept the government throwing people to jail because people are trying to unalive themselves. You need to find the reason why they're trying to unalive themselves.
When you're dealing with somebody who is attempting to by suicide, then this is a mental health issue. And so when you make it look like a crime, then you're preventing this person from seeking the help that might have helped them not engage in that kind of activity in the first place.
Okay? Then try to find a solution for that. Perhaps give them mental health help. Give them access to things they're lacking. Maybe it's the lack of money. Create jobs so they can have opportunity. Does this make sense or not? Well, let me remind you here, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, a few days ago, they unalived many kids. Well, yes, they're young, some of them are adults, but these are dangerous boys that stop you in the street, they will unalive you. They will stop you in the street, they will rob you, they will do bad things. And the Congo has started unaliving those boys. These are street kids. The question is unaliving them the best way of resolving the issue, or should the society find a solution to them? As the society failed them by not providing jobs, good education, food for their families, taking care of their parents so they can send them to school, or the society is actually doing a good job by cleaning up? That's a good question I want to ask you. Should the government continue unaliving those boys to send a message to other ones so they can stop being criminals and unaliving people? Or should the government review itself and provide service delivery, or maybe do both, service delivery and unaliving some of them who are really guilty of the bad things? Let me know how you feel about that. So Kenya, in conclusion, has done something great or not? Let me know how you feel about that. Is it okay to send somebody to jail because he tried to unalive themselves or not? Okay, fellas, this is what it is. South Africa is going to raise the price of alcohol. People going to Groove are going to suffer now. Groove is what they call going to the club in South Africa. People pop bottles and stuff and all that stuff. In some countries, people like to eat and drink. In some other countries, people drink. They don't really eat. Yeah. Crazy, yeah? Anyway, let me know how you feel about this.